Hello one, hello all, and welcome to Similori Field. What a night we have ahead, folks. We got some Bulldogs baseball. It is the last regular season game played here at Similori Field by these seniors. It is senior night, folks, and they have 6 seniors, and I don't have enough adjectives to describe how vital and important these seniors are to this team. Such key cogs to this entire wheel, to this entire program, I have to say, coming forward. The guys have been together for 4 years. Unfortunately, they had a year taken away from them due to COVID. They had a year shortened, but it didn't matter. I can't really explain further than Coach Spazzato explained to the fans by saying that he's even become a better coach by coaching these seniors for 4 years. They're self-motivated. They're great leaders. They're the epitome of student athletes in Westerly. I'd like to read off the 6 seniors to start things off here for the Bulldogs. We have number 4, Nick Fiore. He was their starting second baseman. Number 7 on the hill, we all know Dean Pons Jr. We have Evan Klein, first baseman, number 11 for the Bulldogs. Greg Gorman, at number 17, senior right-handed pitcher, right fielder, first baseman. Zach Beckler, the shortstop, right-handed pitcher as well, senior for the Bulldogs. And number 34, Braden Champlin, outfielder, senior for the Bulldogs. So they were celebrated before the games. Photos were taken, and all the extra affairs were done. But now they're on the field, folks, and they're all business. And you can see that about this team. That is the way they've been all season long. They've played 21 games, folks, this season. So they've played more than just about every other team in the league. And obviously they have one division loss only. The totals that I'm going to give you tonight across the board will blow your mind. But the here and now is the Aces on the Hill. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We got Bulldogs baseball ahead. Folks, between games when the Bulldogs were off, in fact, they were able to clinch the Division 2B South title. They are division winners. They've earned themselves a first round bye in the playoffs, and the home field will be played throughout Similori Field. And folks, if it's played here, we are going to bring it to you live. We are moments away from the leadoff hitter of this one, Johnston, in town. They are the only team to have a blemish on the Bulldogs' record. We'll get into that game further. Man, they have an ace on that squad, Jeremy Urena. I don't believe he's throwing today. We'll have to see. But let's go, folks. We're about to get started here. Number 13 stepping in the box versus Pons Jr., the Bulldogs' ace. And the first pitch of the game, inside corner, called a strike. So Pons quickly ahead, 0-1 in this one. A little rematch for the Bulldogs, a little revenge here, redemption. 1-1 count, outside. Now this game, folks, would have meant a whole lot more, let me tell you, had Johnston been able to beat Narragansett on Saturday morning. The 1-1 pitch, flown to left field, being tracked. Looks like he's going to line out. He's not going to get there. So just a long strike, and Pons quickly ahead, 1-2. So after Johnston had defeated the Bulldogs in a 4-3 tight battle up in Johnston, they had to come back and play the next morning. They had to play Narragansett, and Narragansett was able to defeat Johnston by a score of 7-3. That clinched the division, the first round bye, and home field throughout for the Bulldogs. Pons is 1-2 pitch, strike 3. Watch what a breaking ball that was from way off the plate. Came right back on it, and Pons starts in style. A roar from the crowd. Now this is a crowd, folks. The secret's out. It's not a secret anymore. This Bulldog team has a squad. There are people sitting out there in right field. There are the people out in left. A nice little group out there, and they're a brave group. And first pitch, inside check swing, called the ball. Because the Bulldogs can pop the ball out of the park. They have 12 home runs this season. 4 players have put the ball over the outfield fence. Swing and a miss. Strike 1-1 count. Pons starts his day right on the game. High velocity fastball. That's about as quick as I've seen him throw a fastball all season. And we have been fortunate enough to see him throw about 5 games now. Swing and a miss. He's got it moving. That pitch had a little movement on it as well. Not quite as much as his usual cutter, but way higher velocity than I've seen. So all the way back, 1-2, Pons quickly ahead. Nobody on, 1 out. And the pitch, off-speed pitch, able to foul it off. Nice pitch by Pons, up and in. Nothing they could do with it other than possibly get a piece, and he did. We're going by numbers here for Johnston, unable to get a number name match lineup. So number 3, the first lefty of the day in. And Pons' pitch breaking ball, strike 3. Second strikeout of the day. I could call it before the umpire. It was such a beautiful pitch. That one started inside, coming right at him across the entire plate. So clearly, right out the gates, you see Pons coming out with his fastball working with a little extra pop on it. His breaking ball with more break than I've seen on it. 2 batters up, 2 batters down, 2 strikeouts in the books. And we have a righty right up on the plate. Pons' first pitch right over the plate, called strike 1, quickly ahead. That's not gonna change Dean Pons Jr.'s approach whatsoever. The 0-1 delivery. And a breaking ball, swing and a miss, not even close. That ball, holy smokes, is he pulling the string on that today? If you're a lefty, good luck. That is running right away from you. If you're a righty, it's going to hook you. And the pitch stays outside. Smart waste pitch, 1-2 count. So 2 up, 2 down. Nobody on, 2 out for Johnston. Bulldogs looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Johnston looking to strike out the side. And the pitch, Pons does strike 3 on the breaking ball. Same pitch, 3 batters in a row. Caught them all with the hook. Dean Pons Jr. starts this one out in style, folks. 3 up, 3 down, strikeout variety. The Bulldogs are fired up. Boy, are their fans ever fired up. Let me tell you, they have a great support system out there, a great support group. There's decorations. There's just so much support for this Bulldog, not just the seniors, the entire squad. I haven't seen this many fans involved in a team in a lot of years, folks. They got a whole campground set up for a cookout. They got everything going on here. They're making it a party here at Similary Field. There's no better place to be in Westerly if the Bulldogs are playing. It's the same thing. This is a Similary complex this year because the Lady Bulldogs are playing great softball. They're playing playoff bound softball right across the field. They as well have a game tonight, not at home. Theirs is on the road. Theirs started off about an hour ago. And they too are they're in the playoffs, seeding. Everything matters now. This is the final week of the regular season, folks. There's no more jokes. This matters big time for most teams going down the road. Like I said, this game would have mattered a lot more had Johnston defeated Narragansett. However, it does matter. There's still things going on. I have everything in front of me with Burrillville and Woonsocket. Burrillville only trails Westerly. They're in the other half of the division. It's really irrelevant unless the two were to meet in the state title. Then it's very relevant. And with Westerly's destination in mind to be the state title, they want to end ahead of Burrillville. Now, Burrillville is only ahead of Woonsocket by a tie. Burrillville still has to play Woonsocket in the last game of the season. So there's still things in motion that matter for the Bulldogs. A lot of them are not under their control whatsoever. What is under their control is not to get another loss, obviously. But as far as league losses, they're going to end up ahead of Burrillville regardless. So as far as Johnston goes, their seeding and playing in Johnston, all of that stuff still matters. The Bulldogs came out for revenge today. I'm telling you, they came out. It seems it's a state championship atmosphere here. I mean, dude, the dugout is on fire. They're loud. They're ace. Their leadoff man, Dean Pons Jr. steps in. And I like in this group, and especially hearing Coach Pizzato talk about it as much. I don't know who it was, but somebody in the NFL said it was a high-quality team, a lot of talent on the team. They turned into nothing. But he said all the talent in the world is nothing without direction. Well, these seniors have provided that direction. Well, first pitch right up the middle off the shin of the Johnston pitcher, and he throws him out at first. Hopefully he's okay. He is limping and will definitely get a timeout. Right on the button, Dean hit it straight up the middle on a line off the shin of the pitcher. Hopefully he is able to shake that off. You never want to see an injury in any sort, any team. They were able to throw him out at the moment. He is being tended to by the coaching staff. So in the meantime, as I was saying, this game here is for the Bulldogs means more than just numbers. Now that they have the division championship in hand and everything set going forward to the playoffs, this matters for the seniors. This is their last regular season home game. There's an undetermined amount of home games remaining now. They do have home field throughout. And the playoffs can come and they can go. They're a fickle little friend. They can last a long time or they can go real fast. This team has their eyes on the prize, and I'll tell you right now, they have beyond the talent to make it. What they have is the cohesion. They play like a family, and that's in great part and in most part due to this group of seniors. And a lot of it's been done in the off season. A lot of it's been done without the coaching around. But you do have to give credit to where credit is due, and the coaches will never put it on themselves. But they've had these guys for 4 years together, so they've done an unbelievable job themselves. As the Johnston pitcher throws a pitch here, sees if he's going to be able to move forward here with the game, and There's a round of applause for him. It looks like he's going to be able to. He's going to be sore regardless, folks. So that being a tough way to start if you're a Johnston player, especially if you're the pitcher who just got struck with that. Dean couldn't have hit that any harder or any more direct at anyone or to anybody closer. So nobody on, one out. Bottom of the first inning. And Greg Gorman up for the Bulldogs. Gorman pitched the Bulldogs to a win against Stonington, breaking ball inside, and he hits it right on the laces, fouled on the first baseline. Gorman just had 10 Ks versus the Stonington Bears in the rivalry game. That game mattered in Stonington. When Stonington, no matter who they play, when they cross over and play Westerly, it matters. So that game, they came out with it, and the Bulldogs, Gorman shut them out. Bulldogs won that game 11-0, and that pitch is outside, 1-1 count. Gorman with an excellent eye at bat. He will take a walk. He will make a mistake. He will not let you make a mistake. He is batting .460 on the season, and that's right over the plate, swing and a miss. Low and outside, and the count drops to 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. So he's batting .460 on the season with 5 round trippers. I've been privy to see at least 3 of them off the top of my head. He's been behind in the count similar to this one in every one of them. And that's a breaking ball outside, and he hangs onto it, and it drops for a single. What a hitter. I'm telling you right now, just like that situation, pitchers give him too much of the plate. If they give him any of the plate, when it's 0-2 or when it's 1-2, it's a mistake. If they give him even close to the plate, it's a mistake. The scouting report has to be out, but he does it time and time again. 1-2, he wait back on a beautiful breaking pitch for a different count. Hit it on the seams, and the Bulldogs are first base runner. And right over the middle of the plate, Zach Beckler steps in, another senior being honored today. Shortstop, sure-handed, and what a batter as well, as he is batting .429 with a dinger. Great senior season, man. These guys' numbers are well over 400. I mean, these are real batting averages, folks. And fastball low, good eye, 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning here at Similori Field. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer owner Shane Melanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing you playoff-bound Bulldog baseball. And it's up and away. This is the final home game of the season, senior night for the Bulldogs. At bat, the senior Zach Beckler. There's 5 others. And I will remind you all night long, they deserve to be reminded of. The count 2-1. The pitch, breaking ball, cuts back in for a strike, steals second, slides in safely. That is steal number 53 of the season. And folks, that is 53 attempts. That's not the number. I didn't make that up. That's real. That has to be a record. I don't even really got to look it up. They have attempted 53 steals, and they have not been thrown out one time. 53 of 53. Leads off second base. The count's 2-2. And he drives it deep to left field, folks, tracking it back. And he's got a beat. He jumps and makes the catch at the fence. Tags up and takes third base. So he makes the catch, tracks it down to at least warning track area. He jumped. I don't know how close it was to the fence, actually. But Gorman makes his way to third. And in steps number 10, the third baseman, Shep Simmons. So the Bulldogs threatening with 2 outs and Gorman on third. Beckler with a good piece of it, came up just short of number 2 in the season. Nice job by the left fielder. The shade eventually will creep in. Right now it's just open view, breaking ball, check swing, strike anyway. Nice pitch by the pitcher. So number 22 for Johnston. He has done a nice job of bouncing back from the line drive to the shin. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball over the plate again. Bailed out a little bit on the batter. Fooled. Quickly up 0-2, 2 outs. And Johnston looking to get out of this one with no harm done here, besides a lump on number 22's shin. And the 0-2 pitch, he goes after, he's late on it, flares it out into foul territory. And again, as I speak of, every game is the real estate here at Similori Field is grand. And that can be a asset, it can be a curse. With Travis Costa behind the plate, it's an automatic asset for the Bulldogs. And outside goes the pitch, high and away. A good waste pitch by the Johnston pitcher. Count 1-2, seeing if he'd chase. So an animated dugout, I expect to hear this excitement throughout the game, folks. It's been such an exciting season. It's built all the way up to this senior night. They're champions. They're division champions. And low and in. That one bounces past him, and the first run could cross the plate. He slides. He's in. And I just mentioned, doesn't come back to hurt him in the first Bulldog run of the game. A low pitch, check swing. Simmons holds up, bounces off the catcher, just gets by him. But as you can see on the replay, by the time he gets it to the pitcher, that tag would have been close had he held onto it. But the catcher did set up the tag on home plate, not in front as Costa would have. And I do believe he would have been safe either way. Foul territory, folks, just provides the Bulldogs. No, that's not true. Great base running by Greg Gorman to get that run in. That base running began at second base by him tagging for third on a fly ball to left field. You normally aren't able to do that. When there's a fly ball in front of you, you can't tag up to move forward. But he realized how deep that fly ball was, that it was going to either require a relay or a softer, a longer throw. Tags up and gets to third. That's the only reason that run gets in. So kudos to Greg Gorman, and again, and the breaking ball away. Great at bat by Simmons to work him all the way back, 3-2. And that goes to the baseball IQ of this team, the seniors' baseball IQ, and all the other players are learning from it. The pitch, swing and a miss. But a great at-bat by Simmons to allow that run to come in. He shouldn't get it down on himself. He was quickly down 0-2. And if he didn't work that at-bat, that turned into a 7-pitch at-bat. If he didn't go 7 pitches, that pitch low in the dirt would have never happened. That run would have never happened, so he should shake it right off. Great at-bat, close that run. All around after 1 inning of play. Bulldogs break the ice first. 1-0 lead as we head into the top of the second. Johnston's second chance against Dean Pons Jr. Second chance to make any contact whatsoever as Pons made quick work of the first 3 batters of the game, striking them out in style. And as Pons goes, the Bulldogs go. Let me tell you, Pons committed to Rhode Island College next year, and boy, do they have a star coming to their school. I have enjoyed every star I've had the opportunity to see. What a star I have watched, and just the attitude and just the way he carries himself. It's really just a pleasure to watch, and his team follows suit. And Dean Pons Jr., one of the 6 seniors. He enters the game, folks, with a .68 ERA. He's 6-0, 6 wins, no losses, 1 save. So with 9 appearances this season, 7 of them have resulted in 6 wins and 1 save. They have won all 9 of his games that he has appeared in, and out of his 6 wins, 5 have come via the complete game. That's ridiculous. So he's got 5 complete games. He's 6-0. He's got a save to boot. So we brought him out of the bullpen, probably on short rest that day, and he shut down whoever it was needed shutting down for the Bulldogs to hold their perfect record at whatever time that was. So whenever he's been called upon, and not only on the rubber, but at bat as well. So here we go. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Bulldogs. And first pitch, strike on the outside corner of the plate. And that was a 4-seam fastball. Haven't even really used his cutting fastball. What I've seen on the season, one of his biggest, if not the biggest weapon. And that is another fastball fouled out away on the right side. Quickly ahead 0-2. So he's definitely not showing him everything. But what he did show right there is that the sun could become an issue here moving forward the next few minutes of this game for the next little portion, the next couple innings. Pons had a hard time even seeing that coming back from the umpire. And that breaking ball stays up and away. 1-2 count. Top of the second inning, folks. Bulldogs tuck one in the bottom of the first and lead 1-0 early. Their ace, Dean Pons Jr., on the rubber for the Bulldogs. Home finale. Breaking ball doesn't come back in quite enough. Stays on the outside corner, 2-1. The Bulldogs head to South Kingston for their finale. It doesn't matter. It is a non-league game. Everything matters, but it doesn't matter as far as anything to do with the playoffs. And a fastball. That's got extra pop today. I don't care what you say about it. Foul straight back. Batter was a little behind. Number 6 for Johnston. So Pons evens it up at 2-2. He's definitely got some pop on the heater tonight. Pitch count low thus far. 2-2 pitch. And that's swung on, flown to center field, tracked. Seems to have a beat on it. No problem with the sun. Vacuums it right up. That's an 8 unassisted, 5-pitch. First out of the inning for Dean Pons Jr. So he's seen 4 and he has retired 4. Nice job by the Bulldog center fielder tracking it. And he takes it in. That's Drew Bozek, number 12 for the Bulldogs. Only a sophomore. And the Bulldogs moving forward, on other days I would focus on more, but they're a good team moving forward. And that's a high heater, foul back. That's all you can do with it. Quickly ahead 0-1. So Pond's really showing another side of himself, another weapon that he has. Not that I haven't seen him have a hard fastball, but a whole new approach, really. I mean, because I've seen him paint the corners and use off speed and just use unhittable portions of the plate with his breaking pitch, with his cutting fastball that just cuts in on these righties at devastating amounts. And he hasn't needed it whatsoever today. He's cranked up the fastball and he's thrown the hook, and both have worked better than I've seen all season. And that's that hook, and that one cuts in for a strike. 0-2 count. So that goes from unhittable just to touch the outside of the corner of the plate. I don't know what you do if you're the batter. That time he watched it go by. 0-2, you can't do it again. And he tries to break him out, leaves it outside, 1-2 count. He wanted to leave it outside a little bit off the strike zone. And that's what pitchers don't seem to want to do to Greg Gorman. When they're ahead, they want to use the strike zone. And fastball low and in. Did he hold up? I don't think he did. He takes off himself, calls himself guilty. Strikeout number 4 for Dean Pons Jr. Out number 2 of the second inning. So we have 5 up, 5 down for Pons Jr. The check swing strikeout. Number 11 steps in for Johnston. Nobody on. 2 outs, top of the second inning. Everything working at the moment here for for Dean Pons Jr. against Johnston. Their 6th batter up, and he fouls off pitch number 1. Quickly up 0-1. Been ahead of every batter, and he is definitely having an issue with the sun, so it's definitely at the infield area. It's a regularity. These teams practice at this time of day often to prepare for this. You'll see the shade leak in. The pitch leaves the hook outside. And quickly back in, allowing him to pitch at his pace. Johnston is. And that is a fatal flaw against Pons Jr. And that's fastball swung on and missed. Up in upper inner portion of the strike zone. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Nobody on, top of the second. Pons looking to make it 6 up, 6 down. And the fastball sprayed into foul territory on the right side. Gorman gives chase no room and leaves the count at 1-2. Again, 2 outs, nobody on. 2 strikes on the Johnston hitter. Such excitement at the beginning of the season. The fans that were intimate to the team, the families knew what was building for this season. Pons' pitch, breaking ball in, unhittable, and that curveball strikes out batter number 5. 5 Ks out of 6 batters, 6 up, 6 down for Johnston. Pons starts out this game on fire. The Bulldogs defense hasn't been asked to do much but track down a fly ball to center field thus far as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Folks, this production is brought to you in part by Remy's Cycles, bicycle sales and service at downtown Westerly, 53 Railroad Avenue. Cycling accessories, clothing, safety gear, the latest in electric bike technology, stellar customer service, everything needed to enjoy your cycling adventures. Teddy's Toys, toy store located in downtown Westerly, 53 Railroad Avenue. Modern toys, classic toys, board games, model building, stuffed animals. Valenti Subaru sales and service, located at Dunn's Corners, Westerly RI. Valenti means value. With over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Service with honesty, integrity, and a smile are their cornerstones our business is built upon. That's Valenti Subaru. So the Bulldogs leading off the bottom of the second inning with the sophomore, number 22, Jack Tenuta, having such a season. He's heading into this game batting .433 on the season, tied with a team high of 5 home runs. He not only does it with the bat, he does it on the rubber as well. He is also, folks, 6-0 on the season. He has started 7 games. He has won 6 of them. He has 1 save in the 7th. All decisions, all victories. He has 4 complete games. These are very unsophomore-like numbers. Whether that's a word or not, I'm not sure. His play and the way he carries himself is unsophomore-like. And again, I'll bring it back to the seniors. When you play around that kind of leadership and players that carry themselves the way that these seniors do, it rubs off on the rest of the team. And the first pitch drives to right center field, and that hits the gap perfectly. That's going to head deep into the outfield for a stand-up double. First pitch swinging, Tenuta in with a leadoff double for the Bulldogs, and they are quickly in business again. This team, this Bulldog team, not anywhere in their order can you just lay in that leadoff fastball to try to get ahead in the count. A lot of teams you can do that to a lot of different areas. This team's not one of them. In the box, the lefty, the senior, number 34, the multi-sport athlete, Braden Champlin. Solid outfielder for the Bulldogs. Utility outfielder, can play all three spots. 0-1 count. Tenuta leads off of second, being held on by the shortstop. A breaking ball, ground ball to first base. That's going to move Tenuta. Bobbled, picked up at the last second. Did he have possession? And he is called out. Gets credited for the possession at the last second. Tenuta is on third with one out. So anything to the right side or a sac fly can also plate Tenuta, as well as the dreaded foul territory. So you decide yourselves, as you saw on instant replay, whether he had gotten possession. In steps number 9, Travis Costa, the bedrock of the Bulldog defense, and a high fastball taken, ball 1. The Bulldogs are all important catcher, such an important position for every team, but when you play at Similori Field with this real estate, it becomes even more important. And takes strike number 1 on the inside corner. 1-1 pitch. 1-1 the count, 1 out, runner on third base. Bulldogs lead by 1, bottom of the second inning here. Redemption match versus Johnston, the Bulldogs' sole division loss of the season. And low and in, base hit by Costa. That's going to be an RBI single between short and third, and the Bulldogs tack on their second run. So they score 1 in the first and are in business with 1 in the second. 2 total, runner on first, and Costa not only does his job behind the plate, chips in at bat there for another RBI. And ball 1, number 11, the senior first baseman, Evan Klein. We're in the bottom of the second inning here, folks. Bulldogs quickly up 2-0. And the pitch swung on, fouled off to the left. 1-1 the count, and a cheer out of the dugout. As I said, the seniors support, the crowd support as well this season. Beyond an ordinary season. Something just feels unordinary, maybe extraordinary, or extraordinary even. Takes the breaking ball outside, 2-1 count. One down for the Bulldogs. Costa on first base. And swing and a miss. Fastball inside. Count evens up at 2. So the final week of spring sports regular season we are into starting tonight, and Klein steps out of the box. That is one thing that Johnston hasn't done versus Pons yet. If you do not, you are in big trouble. We've seen it all season. And the breaking ball, nice pitch, breaks too low. So full count, good eye by Klein, the senior. And the senior will make you work. When he is in the box, he makes the pitcher work. He is a solid first baseman as well. And the payoff pitch, ground ball, shortstop. Fields it clean to second, on to first they go, not on time. It gets past the first baseman to the fence. Klein will get to second. So they're going to get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. So they do benefit in a way out of the ground out. It's a fielder's choice by Klein in the books, but the error on the throw by the second baseman puts the Bulldog runner in scoring position. See if the Bulldogs can benefit and tack on a third run here. Stepping in for the Bulldogs, the second baseman, the senior, number 4, Noah Burdick, more than capable. Klein takes his lead, the first pitch fouled off, 0-1. So the next game that will be played here at Similori Field is undetermined at the moment. Their last game of the regular season is on the road in South Kingstown, a crossover game. Non-league, doesn't go towards the playoffs in any manner. This, however, does. More so for Johnston, but much so towards the Bulldogs as well. They don't take well to losing to anybody, clearly. And you've played 21 games, losing one division game and to Waterford. Swing and a miss by Fiore. Count 0-2, 2 outs, 2-0 score, bottom of the second inning, runner on second base. 2 is the magic number here. 0-2 offering, breaking ball, and he gets a piece of it. Does it fall? And it does. He's going to wave Klein around. We're going to have a play. No, he doesn't throw through. RBI single on the 0-2 pitch. The senior, Nick Fiore. The 2-out offensive attack by the Bulldogs chips in the third run of the game. And the senior second baseman gets an RBI on senior night. The 0-2 pitch caught way too much of the plate, much like it's done tonight. It did versus Gorman as well. It was 1-2. He capitalized, and they're just not capitalizing of count advantage. I promise you, if Dean Pounds Jr. does get behind in the count, rarely happens, he capitalizes, gets ahead in the count, as it always does. He capitalizes. He's at bat here, and that's a ground ball base hit. And that'll get past the shortstop, and the Bulldogs have 2 men on. Can't advance to third, but the Johnston defense appears to be frustrated at the moment. 2 outs, 2 runners on, 3-0 Bulldog lead. Bottom of the second inning, and the Bulldog lefty, number 17, Greg Gorman, with a single in his first at-bat. Laced it to center field on a 1-2 pitch. Runner in scoring position, always within a swing of 3 RBIs. The breaking ball, he gets under it too much, and it's out of play. And that stayed upstairs, and it's an 0-1 count. I don't know if I'd rather see him with a 1-2 count or something like that, because I see him produce constantly with it that way. The dugout is fired up. The excitement at Similori Field is palpable, and that stays away, 1-1. You can't really walk the bases loaded in good conscience, that's for certain. Not with the shortstop, the senior, number 21, Zach Beckler, batting .429 with a home run behind him. He is so well protected at number 2. Breaking ball comes back to the plate, fouled straight back. Started away, came back in. Count 1-2. So what they thought would maybe the easier part of the Bulldogs order, if there were to be one, there's not. The bottom of the order produces with 2 outs, capped by Nick Fiore's single, and down the left field line. Can they trace it? It doesn't look like they're going to get there. They may, and they do. Great job of tracking a tough ball to end the inning and the threat by Johnston, but not before the Bulldogs tack on another run, courtesy of the senior Nick Fiore, the second baseman's RBI single with 2 outs. So after 3 innings of play, the Bulldogs 3, Johnston 0 here on senior night, and the Division II-B South champion Bulldogs are playing like their title division champions. And as the coach expressed on the mic when he was speaking of these seniors, which I didn't put very well prior to the game, we were short on time, but the bottom line is, if you were to put it in a few words, leadership. And they're just leadership in motion. They lead by example. They're not loud. They just lead by example, by professionalism, and that comes across in their play, command, presence on the field, off the field. I just see the way they carry themselves with character. All of those are the better adjectives that you could find for these seniors. And it produces, obviously, the athleticism combined with all that, just produces a team that is dynamite like this one, and a team that just loves to play the game together. It is just at this level, it's rare to find. And like I said, this Bulldog team, they have a lot of sophomores and juniors that contribute as well, but the time is right now. They've put in the work, 21 games in, 19-1 in the division, folks. They've put in a lot of hard work to get where they're at. Right on the arm of this lefty, Dean Pounds Jr. on the rubber right now. He's warming up, and like I said, he warmed up in fast style. He pitches in fast style. If he comes out in charge, which this is like the 5th time we've seen him, and he's won every game we've seen him. He's been in charge. We've seen him face a little bit of adversity at times, much fewer times than he's ahead, that's for certain. But when he gets in a groove on the mound, as he is right now, and you can't get in any better of a groove, he's seen 6 batters, he's retired 6 batters, he's struck out 6 batters. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But when he gets in a groove like this, you'll watch him catch the throwback from Costa, take 2 steps back to the rubber, and if the batter allows it by staying in the box, he's ready to roll. He's going to throw. And the scouting report's apparently not out, as you watch Costa just throw from his knees. An absolute P to second base in warm-ups. I watched his team from both sides of the field warming up before the game just to get different angles on what this team can do. I watched them throw just basic relays in practice prior to the game. And they're so accurate in their relays. They play their tails. Everyone knows everyone's got a tail from the outfield, and we'll get further into that nonsense. As we get into the top of the 3rd inning, Pond's first pitch a little bit low, 1-0 count. Number 4 for Johnston, who is only the number 7 hitter in their order, first opportunity, as the Bulldogs' number 3 hitter will lead off next inning in the bottom half of the inning. Pond's pitch over the outside porch and waved at and sucked up by Beckler. He vacuums that one up easily, 6 unassisted for the first out of the inning. Pond's handcuffed him on the second pitch. His pitch count extremely low. And that's his cutter, the first time he's really had to break it out this game. And boy, is it an effective one. One of the best ones I've seen, to be honest. It is almost a breaking ball, and it's just his straight cutting fastball. And it's so dominant is because he controls it so well. And that's just a basic fastball right over the outside portion of the plate as he's starting to paint his corners. Quickly ahead 0-1, number 22 at bat for Johnston. The 8th batter of the game for Johnston. 0-1 count, 1 out, nobody on. Breaking ball, check swing, tried to check his swing, 3/4 swing. Pretty much he was fooled and stuck there is pretty much what that is. And it's an 0-2 count. Pond's right back. Here we go. We're pitching again, folks. And breaking ball over the plate before he knew it, he struck out. He didn't even know what happened to him in that at-bat. And down he goes, and that would be the 8th batter of the game in style. 8 up, 8 down, 6 via the K. And Pons is beyond in control at the moment. He is in a vice grip, and some of these batters, it's going by so fast because they're not stepping out and getting him out of his rhythm. And the fastball, swung and miss, upstairs in the zone. Beautiful first pitch. Right on the edge of that zone strike ball area, and you get him to swing and miss with that extra pop he's got on him today. Playoff style, getting himself loose for the playoffs, and that is a right down the middle heater, even faster than the first, quickly ahead 0-2. And this is where you see his IQ. I tried to spit it out early, wasn't coming out very well. He's pitching so well at the moment, he may, but you'll see that a little off the outside corner, swing and a miss, ends the inning, and he leaves the outside off the plate. Got his 7th strikeout of the day, folks. Only 9 batters have batted for Johnston. 9 up, 9 down, 7 strikeouts for Dean Pons Jr. 2 other batters. We had a soft pop out to short, a fly out to center, and beyond control are the Bulldogs. Ahead 3-0, getting set to bat in their half of the 3rd inning here, folks. All Bulldogs at the moment. The number is 3, and don't get me wrong, this Johnston team has one heck of a record this season. They are 13-3, and you don't get that record by being a pushover, and I'm sure they've been down by more than 3 at other points in the season and come back. They haven't seen Dean Pons Jr., and they haven't seen this Bulldog team, and they're a multi-headed monster, and I know 6 of those heads are seniors, and they came to play tonight like they have all season long, and I don't think that they're going to accept a defeat tonight. And fortunately for them, they have the athleticism behind it to back it. They're up 3-0 early, and they're hitting on all cylinders. They're even attacking when you think they were done with nobody on and 2 outs. They popped in another run. So, that being said, this production is also brought to you in part by McQuaid's Ace Hardware, your local family-owned hardware store located on Franklin Street in Westerly RI. Everything you need this spring for yard cleanup and home cleaning: mulch, lime, fertilizer, lawn mowers, power tools, and hand tools. If they don't sell it, folks, you don't need it. Wireless Zone, your Verizon authorized retailer, located in Dunn's Corners next to Duncan. Cell phone, sales, service, and repair. Trade in your old phone and get up to $700 off a new phone with trade-in. Switch from current provider and get your new phone for free with trade-in. And in steps the senior shortstop for the Bulldogs, number 21, Zach Beckler. And a star shortstop he is at times. sometimes some of these players can get overlooked by the other one because there's just so many stars on this team, but man, is he one of them. First pitch called strike. Shortstop, first of all, is generally regarded as the athlete of the infield, the leader of the infield, and he holds that position. And we're waiting on the second pitch. Doesn't like the first sign. Takes the second. Outside portion of the plate. In the dirt it is. So Beckler evens up the count at 1-1. And he also chips in only with a .429 batting average. He's also proven he can put it out of the yard. Already almost popped one out in one of his earlier at-bats. And takes that one low. Good eye. 2-1 the count. So nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the third inning. Bulldogs 3, Johnston 0. And a little redemption game for the Bulldogs. And breaking ball, called a ball. So we're ahead now, 3-1 after going down 0-1 in the count. A good eye by Beckler. Batters count here. If it's right here he wants it, he will swing. You have confidence. And the pitch is up and away, and he gets on. Leadoff batter on for the Bulldogs. Never want a leadoff walk. Generally comes back to haunt you. One of the old school rules in baseball, and with a Bulldog team that, hey, I don't know, they're 53 or 53 stealing. That's always a threat. If you put them on base, generally they somehow get into scoring position. Up, number 10, Shep Simmons, their third baseman. Checks him at first, dives back safely. Simmons, only a junior. We'll see him next year, along with a lot of other guys. Johnston faced Poole, a freshman, in the first game. And Poole did a stellar job pitching. He allowed 2 earned runs, struck out 8, only walked 2. Checks Beckler at first, dives back safe again. Getting a nice primary lead off first base is Beckler. And has already done his job. He's already gotten the pitcher's mind off of Simmons. Simmons is ahead 1-0 in the count. And that is off the outside corner. He is stealing. The throw is there. And he is called out. And finally a runner thrown out. They were waiting on it. And they got him out on it. So the Bulldogs runner goes down. The streak had to end. Or maybe I shouldn't have spoken of it. I don't know. I was reading an article. Don't blame it on me. So 1 down for the Bulldogs. Simmons ahead 2-0 in the count. And a strike. 2-1 in the count. And a nice gun by, you got to give credit where credit is due. It was a beautiful throw by the Johnston catcher, but they were prepared. They were throwing straight heat. Not even in the strike zone. They were not worried about Simmons whatsoever. They checked Beckler 3 times, and they still went after it. Tenuta on deck for the Bulldogs. So nobody on, 1 down, 2-2 the count. Simmons get things restarted here. And breaking ball stays upstairs, full count. So like I said, the final week regular season before the playoffs, and the Bulldogs have 3 teams that will be headed to the postseason, folks. That is the Lady Bulldogs fast pitch softball team, and the breaking ball, he takes it, ball 4. It broke away, he got the call, it was close. He had a better view than I, and the Bulldogs are in business with a runner on and 1 out. Jack Tenuta at bat, 433 coming into the game. 3 doubles, 5 round trippers, 24 RBIs, and a 6-0 record on the hill to boot. The sophomore, first pitch swinging to right field, tracks it late, gets a bad read on the second baseman, makes up for the bad read, and he takes it in. Simmons back. It would have been a trap anyway. It was in that little Bermuda triangle. Simmons would have been out at second. Too deep for the infield fly rule to be called, and out number 2. So 2 outs and Simmons on first base for the Bulldogs. In steps the senior, Braden Champlin, number 34, the lefty. Came through with a single in his first at bat. Bulldogs have a 3-0 lead, bottom of the 3rd inning. And the pitch, cutter outside, 1-0 count. So as I said, it was freshman versus a URI committed senior for Johnston. And Poole surely held his own. The Bulldogs only lost 4-3. And the Bulldogs were set with Pons for today. And ground ball, almost the same spot as first at bat. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, and he can't make it. It gets by, almost a mirror play. And the first at bat got by. That was literally a mirror play, but there's a runner on. Braden Champlin with his second hit of the day. That is definitely an infield hit, and he is 2 for 2. Advances Simmons to third, and the Bulldogs are in business here with 2 outs as they're challenging. And Costa also in business with a hit in his last at bat as he steps in for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs catcher, always with a dirty uniform, and I absolutely love it about him. All these Bulldogs will get dirty. They are dirt dogs, and that's part of their record. And a big spot to see if the Bulldogs can tack in another one with 2 outs here. Each inning has been a challenge for the Johnston pitcher. He has probably thrown about double the pitches that the Bulldogs' Dean Pons Jr. has thrown. Absolute beyond command Pons has had all night long. The 1-0 pitch, catcher sets up outside, fouled out to the right. And I had mentioned after the last start by Pons that we covered, which was his last start here. And we were the last to leave the stadium. Lights were out, and Coach Strato was just grooming the field. I'll get back to it. As Costa, the 1-1 pitch. He swings at it to center field. It goes, being tracked by the Johnston center and right fielder, and it falls to the ground. That's another run. And there was no communication. The right fielder went in diving, and the Bulldogs' Braden Champlin wisely takes third and replaces Simmons' original spot. I don't know if they give credit for a hit or not, but the run scored for the Dogs. So again, with 2 outs, they attack. With the when Beckman got thrown out at second base, there was a little bit of a hush to the crowd, a little bit deflated. But no, that does not stop this Bulldog team. This team says nothing can stop this train from rolling. With 2 outs and a runner on first, they get in business, they get moving, and right there, Costa tacks in a run. Put it in a spot that it was tough to be. It could be ruled a hit. I mean, bottom line is that they needed to communicate one way or the other. Maybe the right fielder called it. If that's the case, it's definitely a hit. Either way, Bulldogs have 4 and a runner on third again. 2 outs, inside, swings. Evan Klein, the senior, number 11 at bat. A little too far inside there. That was a cutting fastball, a nice pitch. But again, a high pitch count in the 3rd inning for this pitcher, for Johnston. And that is swung on and fouled back. He has been drilled in the shin on the very first pitch of the game, if you missed it, off of Dean Pons Jr. I can't imagine the launch speed off the bat that ball had coming back at his shin. And he took it like a trooper, and he's pitched through it. And the Bulldogs have come at him at every inning, forcing him to throw a lot of pitches. The Bulldogs have scored in all 3 innings. 1 inning, in the 3rd inning, they scored twice. So they've made him work. And a breaking ball, ground ball to second base, handled by the shortstop, flip to second, and that'll do it. Not before another 2-out RBI single by Costa, and the Bulldogs tack on another. So 3 innings in the book here at Similori Field on senior night. A little bit of a revenge game. Your very own Westerly Bulldogs 4 and Johnston 0 as Dean Pons Jr. gets set to take the hill here in the top of the 4th inning. He's a quick mover, folks, and let me tell you, the only delay in starting this inning is the time it will take Costa to get his equipment on. He is that quick of a mover when he is feeling it and when he is in the groove. Honestly, I don't know what stops him, and this whole team's in the groove tonight. They all came out to prove something. They were all set, the way they set up their pitching staff and everything, nothing changed. Whether Johnston had won or lost versus Narragansett. It was all going to work out this way with Dean Pons Jr. pitching versus the same opponent. Coach Pizzato chose Poole on Friday, and it was a great decision, who did a great job. Imagine having a freshman who can stand on the hill and put out that kind of production. So that goes all towards the Bulldogs, just the Bulldogs' future going forward. But this year, the here and now, man, this team just impresses and continues to impress. They've pushed it on this Johnston team, who, like I said, this Johnston team is playing for a reason. A little deflated, obviously, after earning a hard-fought victory versus the Bulldogs, and then having to turn around and play the next morning and losing to a much lower quality team. Nothing against Narragansett, but I'll say a team with a much worse record, to be more politically correct, I suppose, or whatever you want to say. Narragansett floating around 500, so Johnston definitely went into that game the favorite, but like I said, Wesley wore them down. It was a tough game. It was a 7-inning battle. The Bulldogs threatened in the 7th of that game, so they really did wear down Johnston, and they just couldn't make the turnaround, which locked everything up for the Bulldogs. And then now you got to turn around with one day off and travel to that very Bulldog team and face their ace. I can see where their problems lie. And watching Pons throw 1-2 warm-up pitches, he's ready to roll. Costa throw another P from his knees to second, and this Bulldog team's in business. Music dies down, and the Bulldogs are ready to rock and roll here. Number 13 steps in the box for Johnston. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, folks. We are bringing you Bulldog baseball, your only source for Bulldog sports, folks. Pons' first pitch, and this is going to be left center field, tracked by outfield, caught on the run. Beautiful catch. Oh, no, he missed it, went over his head. I lost it. Tenuta tracked it, but it went over the top of Tenuta's head. And the relay comes into Beckler. I lost it right behind Tenuta completely. In for the stand-up double. I thought he snagged it. Nice job backing him up by the center fielder for the Bulldogs. So Bozak eventually the one to bring it in. So first pitch, leadoff double, and Johnston in business. That ball disappeared right behind Tenuta's glove. So right now I guess you would say Pons in the most trouble of the night because there is a base runner. First base runner of the night. Pons out of the stretch for the first time. 1-0 count. So the Bulldogs forced to play a little baseball here on D now. Pitch called a strike, 1-1. Takes his lead off second. Bulldogs not doing all that much to hold him on. Pons with a multitude of delivery options, and that gets in on his hands, and that is being tracked by the center fielder. If he can get there, diving catch, nice catch, made by Bozak, diving forward. Beckler couldn't get a good eye on it, didn't track it back, and a beautiful catch coming in. Check out this replay, folks. Diving catch coming in. Only a sophomore, Drew Bozak, number 12. So a one-pitch out makes her up for the one-pitch double. And right up on the plate, the batter for Johnston. This will not change anything about where Pons throws it. Breaking ball, outside ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1 out, 4-0, Bulldog lead. The ace, Dean Pons Jr. on the hill for the last time in the regular season. And this pitch inside, 2-0. Next time you want us covering this Bulldog team, all the chips will be down, folks. They will be in the playoffs. And slide step delivery for a strike on the inside. Like I said, he can go from a full kick. He can run a slide step. He can do a half step. He gets several different deliveries out of the stretch. Count 2-1, 1 out. Not a huge lead. No one holding him whatsoever. And strike right up the middle. Almost took his head off. And Bozak will field it. They're going to hold up the runner at third. And a beautiful relay in, and that's what I was talking about before the game. It's the fundamentals like that just prevented a run. Coach wisely watched them in warm-ups, and that was a P thrown in by Bozak. So not only does he have a diving catch, but it's little things like that. He has a perfect relay throw that prevented a run thus far. So the Bulldogs still haven't given up any, and Bozak's the reason this inning. So the Bulldogs have 1 out. Checks first with his step back. That's another option. And everyone's going to stay in normal depth for the Bulldogs. The pitch is low and away. Costa, nice job stopping it in the dirt, preventing that run from getting by. Costa with no errors on the season. That's correct. No errors by your catcher. I don't care where you play. But to have a catcher commit no errors in however many home games they've had here, which I should know that number, but man, oh man, is that an unsung hero award if there ever is one. Every day you talk about a player taking one off the shin every day. I know he's got pads on his chin, but you take him off the hands, the elbows, your shins are down every play. The pitch, he takes him at first. Klein steps off, checks that runner at third. Bulldogs a step ahead. Big secondary on third, trying to draw the throw. A dangerous throw across the diamond always. Only want to make that throw from first and third unless absolutely necessary. And that goes over his head and fortunately doesn't hit the Johnston batter. 3-0 the count, and a walk does not hurt the Bulldogs in any way. Creates a force anywhere, double play possibility all over the place. I'm sure Dean Pons Jr. is not going to throw it right off the middle of the plate here. And low, and a called strike over the outer portion of the plate, but he does paint the plate still. He still uses the edges, regardless and whenever. He has no fear on the hill. The pitch over the outside portion of the plate, fly ball to right. Tracked back by Gorman. He's going to get under it, but they're going to be able to tag third, and the first run's going to come in. Gets over to the third baseman. Late to Costa. Runner on first doesn't advance, so it's a sacrifice fly. They are going to check the runner at third. They're with the appeal, and he is called safe at home by the home plate umpire. So the score, Bulldogs 4, and they do give up a run. That's going to be an earned run, and 1 run in for Johnston. So we do have a ball game here. Johnston is here and alive. The Bulldogs don't have to play 7 innings of baseball. But that often is bad news for their opponent because they have scored in every offensive opportunity thus far. Couple runners this inning. The most pitches that Pons has had to throw clearly. 3 different base runners have reached base, and there's 2 outs, so that would make this the 6th batter of the inning. Quick math, unofficial, of course. Side step, pitch, strike. 1-1 count, 2 outs. So it all started with what I thought was a running catch by Tenuta. Even on my monitor, that ball disappeared behind him. Going, stealing second, Costa's throw right on the money, gets the jump, steal is good, runner in scoring position. And a little Bulldog-like attack by Johnston with 2 outs. As they get their runner in scoring position, so now a single placed properly can score a run. Open stance. Wide open stance, and fastball, single, no. Sucked up by the second baseman, falls down, throws off his knees. Klein gets him. Yes, he does. What a play. Throwing off of his rear end, the senior. Check out this replay. Falling down off of his left knee to Evan Klein, the senior. Number 4 to number 11, senior to senior, Fiore to Klein. What an end to the inning. Saves the run for the Bulldogs, out number 3. And though they gave up the run a minute ago, momentum has just been stolen back out of the hands of Johnston. Any energy, any flow, any momentum, folks. That was here at Similar Field for giving up that earned run is gone because, boy, that was fantastic, as you see on the replay. The senior, who also has an RBI, having a day. And the senior first baseman, I said always dependable early. Right there's the proof, the stretch. Saves a run. And in a 4-1 game against a team that's in second place, every run counts. So the Bulldogs now get set to bat in the bottom half of the 4th inning, looking to tack on to their 4 runs. They've scored 1 in every inning, 2 in the 3rd. The other half of the division is battling. Burrillville still to battle Woonsocket for that division. They are only separated by a tie in the north half of this division. That has no regular season or regular playoff effect on this Bulldog team. That does affect them as far as, neither team has home field, really. They play the finals in Rick, but there is considered a home team, and that's the team that battles in the bottom of the inning. And that is an all-important honor. Do you reach that to the top of the mountain? If you reach that pinnacle, that's when the north half of the division matters and where you end up. And the Bulldogs, at the moment, have the best record in both halves of the division. Right here, speaking of having a day, the senior, number 4, Nick Fiore. Not to put down every senior is having a great day. And right down, same spot, another hit. And having a day and a half now, folks. He put it in the same spot on the first pitch already today. Multiple hits, an unbelievable run-saving play at second base. Nick Fiore showing you what he can do on senior night. And in steps the senior, Dean Pons Jr. What do you do if you're an opponent? You flip the top with Fiore, and now you got Pons, you got Gorman, you got the whole top of the order coming up. Tenuta, everybody. Beckler. And a swing followed straight back on Pons, 1-1 count. I mean, everybody, every end of this order, there is no bottom of the order. So here we go, nobody out. We have a runner on first. Having a day, Fiore on first. They're always dangerous. Always super dangerous. Dean Pons Jr. has been on the button all day, right at the pitcher, obviously in his first at-bat. And he's been on the button on the hill, so he's having a day. Catcher sets up outside. It ends up inside, ball 1-1 count. So we are in the bottom half of the 4th inning, live from Similar Field, Bulldog Baseball, Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. Folks, we're getting warmed up for the playoffs. We got 3 games this week, and that breaking ball goes away And a good job of the catcher hanging on to it and keeping the runner from advancing to second base and in scoring position. After this week, next time you hear us, it's for all the cookies. It'll be in the playoffs for all three squads. And that pitch, that's flown. Pop fly, called off by the pitcher. First baseman brings it in. Fouled in foul territory, frustrated. First out of the inning, but that is one of the things about Dean Pons Jr. He can show his frustration there. He can head in the dugout, and whatever he's going to do, whether the Bulldogs give him 3 minutes and ground out in the next 2 pitches, or whether they give him 30, or whether they give him 10, he's going to come out on the hill, and he's going to be that same ace pitcher. And that's his ability. That's his composure that he's going to go out next year, and he's going to be able to focus all of that just on pitching because they take you out of the batter's box. So, man, I'm going to actually go watch the kid pitch next year. But here and now, the stud, Greg Gorman, Bryant-bound scholarship, takes a breaking ball, looked to be low and in for a called strike. I don't believe he liked it himself. So Greg Gorman, the power lefty, but not only power, folks. I've seen this guy. He can go all over the ballpark, and he can do it in the park and out of the park. He doesn't just only hit home runs. He hits 0-2 doubles to the opposite field, to the fence. Those things guys kind of get overlooked sometimes. He hits laces, 0-2 singles opposite field. He'll put it up the middle. He'll pull it. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. A little ahead of it, 2-2 the count. 1-2 the count. With 1 out and a runner on first base for the Bulldogs here. Pitcher gets his sign. Checks Fiore the kick and the pitch. Breaking ball, and he got this one. Diving stop by the Johnston first baseman. Nice job. Fiore advances into scoring position on a fielder's choice by Gorman. Beautiful play by the Johnston defense as the righty crosses his body with his glove, as you saw on the replay. Tough to do that. But what he does do, it is a fielder's choice, so there's no stat for this. It is he put a runner in scoring position for your shortstop, the senior, number 21, Zach Beckler, a batter that's batting over 400. And we'll see if it turns out to matter. It always matters because it's more pitches that the pitcher's got to throw anyway. First pitch, strike on the inside push. Fiore having a day at second base, waiting. Another duck on the pond. And that's going to hit Beckler in the meat of the back. Should be able to shake that one off. You could hear the thud here, and that does really just create a forced out. It wasn't likely that Beckler was going to see much anyway with that base open and the ability to create a force anywhere. You know, ever like to see anyone get hit, but there wasn't very little intent. And in steps Simmons, the third baseman for the Bulldogs, having a day as well. Breaking ball up and away, ball 1-0 the count. 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Bulldogs. Looking to add on to a 3-run lead here against second place Johnston. The crown is the Bulldogs here in division play, Division 2B South. They already have it as Simmons fouls it back, 1-1. To the Bulldogs, threw out freshman Michael Poole, who did one heck of a job against this Johnston squad. Allowed only 2 earned runs in 6 innings, striking out 8 as a freshman, walking only 2. And the pitch, breaking ball low. And the Bulldogs, that freshman, faced Johnston's Jeremy Urena. Struck out 11. And he's committed to URI already, throws 90 miles an hour. So to have a 4-3 game set up like that and the ability to win that game and be in position to win that game. And that's outside. Good eye by Simmons, works the count up. And the count is 3-1. Fiore at second base for the Bulldogs. Beckler at first base. 2 down, and they've scored with 2 already tonight. And swing and a miss on the outside portion, full count. So the Bulldogs were set up for this game, almost assuming a win in Narragansett. You never assume. Round ball, round bat, hit square. You never know, folks. Payoff pitch here, 2 outs, inside. And that's going to be a payoff single by Simmons. Having a day, it'll plate another one. He juggles it, and that's going to allow another runner to get to third, moves Beckler forward, another one in. So the Bulldogs have scored in every inning, and in 2 or 3 of them have been with 2 outs. Nice job by Simmons, full count, great at bat. 7 pitch at bat, 8 pitch maybe. Drops it into center field for the RBI. essentially erasing the run they gave up. Back to a 4-1 Bulldog lead, and in steps the star sophomore for the Bulldogs, having a heck of a year, a to-be-continued career so far to go in this youngster's career, and he is playing beyond his years already. Number 22 at bat, Jack Tenuta, the left fielder for the Bulldogs. Runners on first and third. Bulldogs 5, Johnston 1. Inside fastball strike, 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Great crowd on hand at Similari Field. The seniors' numbers down the outfield. The support has been tremendous and grown all year long. Outside portion of the plate, he did try to pull it. It bounces around a little bit, and no throw. He's fortunate. Another run in. It's going to be an unearned run, but does not matter to the Bulldogs. A run is a run is a run, as it was babbled by the third baseman, and they go up by a score of 6-1. As they tack on two-out runs, and Braden Champlin, another senior, having one heck of a day with at least 2 hits to the same spot for the Bulldogs and an RBI up and in, ball 1. So the lefty having one heck of a senior night for the Bulldogs. Gets called upon in all sorts of circumstances, steps up in all sorts of circumstances, a multi-sport athlete, and fouled off, 1-1 the count. And just another stellar example of a scholar athlete. Everything you would want out of a Westerly athlete, he definitely embodies. He plays any role on the field. And the strike 2, as we had a temporary scoreboard issue. I'm sure they're tending to that. That is not under the control. So the count 1-2 on Champlin. 2 down now. And it stays away. 2-2 the count. 6-1 the score, folks, here, bottom of the 4th inning. 2 down. Number 22 still on the hill for Johnston. He did start the game, and he has a pitch count that is growing. And a breaking ball, swinging a miss. He hit the dirt, but Champ gets tagged out. So the Bulldogs go down, but not before tacking on 2 more. So the Bulldogs tack on 1 in the first and second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and that reaches a total of 6. And that gives Pons a little bit of a break after his at-bat, and he will undoubtedly, as he does, head back to the hill with a 5-run lead, as he walked off the rubber with a 3-run lead. So that's always a positive. So we head to the 5th inning of play, and we're going to talk quickly here about Bulldogs softball, Bulldogs volleyball, folks. They have action this week, and we're going to bring you both of it. Like I said, last week of the regular season, both of these teams, the ladies fast pitch softball team, has playoff implications, and we are going to bring you a 7 p.m. matchup on the 26th, varsity fast pitch softball. But even before that, the 25th, there's a schedule change if you looked earlier, but if you look at westerly.live, it is already up on the 25th, Westerly boys varsity volleyball. Folks, they have a squad. They faced unbeaten Mount St. Charles Co-op, and they brought them to 5 sets to the edge, and that was to the top team. They've played the second place team to 5 sets, and we will bring you the Bulldogs versus Pilgrim, who sits in 3rd place, and the Bulldogs have already defeated Pilgrim once. So the Bulldogs playing for 3rd place in the division going into the playoffs, possibly, by the time we cover them. Still things to be sorted out, things that happen behind the scenes between now and then. But things do matter this week, big time, when it comes to boys volleyball and ladies fast pitch softball. And we are covering both. We will be at Federico Gymnasium on the 25th, 6:30 p.m. for some boys volleyball. And back here across the complex, May 26th for 7 p.m. for some ladies fast pitch softball. Back to the diamond. Pons Jr., the pitch. Right back up at him, base hit. 2nd inning in a row. Went back at him that time. First time it went up towards his head, that time down towards his feet. Neither one got any piece of him, kind of fortunately. So 1 pitch and 1 runner on, and he was a little frustrated. Got a little more of the plate than he would like. on that first pitch. No worries. The offense is up to any task tonight. However, he has been in little trouble. Breaking ball, 1-0 the count. Last inning was the most pitches he threw. You've seen him bounce back from far worse. Although it is a tough task to get one earned run off of Dean Pons Jr., I'll tell you. And you can't say that really for most pitchers, so it is an oddity. Hey, get it out of the way. That's what today's game is for the Bulldogs. Because when they play here again, like I said, it'll be a playoff game. They will be hosting an opponent, and it will be in the second round as they have a first-round bye. They can watch the field narrow. They have earned that right. The 3-0 pitch takes the strike, 3-1. So runner on, and Pons catches the strike zone now, 3-1. Still a batter's count. I'm willing to bet he actually watches this one go by. Full kick, the pitch, and he doesn't fly to center, and that looks like it's right on Bozek's line. He takes it and unable to tag. Unassisted 8 for out number 1 for the Bulldogs, and that is exactly the remedy that Pons wanted. Put it in play and make it easy for your defense, and that is a beautiful answer. Sometimes the strikeout always isn't the best thing. Sometimes you don't even need 3 pitches. And they got their answer there. 1 out, 1 on. First pitch. Low and away, ball 1, 1-0. And the pitcher batting for Johnston. Boy, has he toughed it out tonight, and credit to him. Facing, obviously, a very difficult foe here in Westerly. And that's going to be sprayed out to the right. I don't think there's enough real estate, and there is not. 1-1 to count, 1 down. Runner at first base for Johnston, who trails by 5 in the top of the 5th inning here. And we see Pons here out of the stretch. And the pitch, breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2, excuse me. And we have seen the Bulldogs score a couple runs. One on the benefit of a ball that got away from the catcher just enough. And the kick and pitch, and that's right up the middle. He can handle that one. He starts to double play, puts it in motion for Bozek, makes the throw a little behind. And nice job, nice throw, but a nice job sliding by Johnston, not making the throw easy. As you see the replay, throw a little bit upstairs. Nice step off by Bozek, just in time, the runner for Johnston. But they get the lead runner and the second out of the inning on the fielder's choice. 6-4. The attempt to 3, no good, and 2 down with a runner on first for the Bulldogs. So Pons looking for a quick 3-out inning, step back throw. Hasn't had to throw many pitches this inning, and that is the exact answer he would have hoped from last inning. And squares for a bunt, flies foul. Looking to bunt for a hit, number 16. Have not seen him up yet this game. So, stepping back in, number 16 for Johnston. And that's the longest delay you're going to get between pitches. So you got to foul it off or something. And the breaking ball swung on and missed by a good margin. And 0-2, and I do believe Pons will end the inning with this pitch more than likely. And as it popped up, tracked back, and that might be too far for Costa. Does he have it? Sliding catch underneath, and it goes to the ground. What a tough catch, and nice effort by Costa to the limits of the free ground, and what an effort by your catcher on that one. I thought that was going to land right up on our booth. Nevertheless, another strike going to the count. 2 down for the Bulldogs. 2 strikes for Pons. And breaking ball swung and missed, another strikeout for Dean Pons Jr. And that is the end of the top of the 5th inning, and the Bulldogs are excited. The Bulldogs are in charge. And that's what the Bulldogs do when they face even a scrap of adversity. They give up 1 run, and they bark back, answer with 2, and then shut you down in the following end of the inning. So that's how the Bulldogs answer. It's just that quickly for them. They give up a run, and they pop back with 2, and then a bang, bang inning on the defensive side, and before you know it, they're on offense again, ready to score more. They attack you before you know it, kind of like Dean Pons does on the rubber. He attacks you before you know it. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner Shane Belanger. We have Lisa and True behind the lens. We are together, Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We're going to be with you on the 25th at 6:30 p.m. Federico Gymnasium, folks. Senior night, boys volleyball, playoff implications, possibly third place area for the Bulldogs. All matters whether they get some games at Federico Gymnasium in the playoffs, and that is huge if they do. We're bringing them to you, folks, only at Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. And then the season finale, 7 p.m., varsity fast pitch softball, folks, which would be senior night for the girls softball team, but they are seniorless. That's correct. They don't even have a senior on their team. What a young team, and they're doing so much with that team. They sit in today in a tie at third place. They win by percentage points. They have 4 losses in the league. They're tied with Middletown, and they're just in a battle to the end. And they've had one heck of a senior-less regular season. They're going to be exciting in the postseason. All 3 teams going to the postseason. We only know where one team stands, and that's Westerly, and that's as division champs and a 1 seed. In steps the catcher, Travis Costa, number 9, bottom half of the 5th. First pitch, swinging and fouls it off to his left. The 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, low and in. So quickly down 0-2. And Costa's chipped in a couple clutch hits tonight with an RBI himself. And you get contributions all over this lineup, regardless of the lineup. The lineup changes, yet the results more than 100% of the time, almost 100% of the time, stay the same. And Costa takes the ball and evens up the count at 2. 2-2 the count. So the lights come on here at Semilore Field on senior night. Only one more on the schedule for the Bulldogs, 26 on the road against South Kingstown. A Division I non-league game. And ground ball to shortstop, and he vacuums it up, throw to first on the mark. So 6-3 ground out for Acosta, 1 up, 1 down for the Bulldogs. As Johnston finally gets to throw it around on the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs. Klein, the senior, number 11 at bat, one of the Bulldogs' 6 seniors. I'm going to read them off again, folks, for you. Nick Fiore, and oh my gosh, what a game he's had, folks. Holy smokes. He has chipped in all over the place with the bat, a couple hits, couple RBIs, diving plays, falling down plays. First pitch strike on Klein. Making a throw, falling back off one knee, saves a run, just an all-around great game. Klein, a senior at bat, ground ball, and it's in fair territory, foul territory. 0-2 the count. On the hill, I could talk all night about number 7, Dean Pons Jr., and he is fully in charge with a 6-1 lead. We have number 11, first baseman Evan Klein, who's also had a great day. Had a huge stretch on that throw by Nick Fiore. We have number 17, Greg Gorman, the stronghold all season long, the senior, who showed he can pitch as well. They threw him on the mound. What does he do against Stonington? Shuts him out. Strikes out a boatload. They have number 21, Zach Beckler, as Klein calls timeout and steps back. The shortstop, stud, leader of the infield, batting over 400. And the pitch, low and in. Good eye by Klein. He will make you work as a pitcher. The senior will make you work hard. He gets all out of his at-bats. That's Klein. And number 34, Braden Champion. What a day he's having. He's showing you. He's got multiple hits tonight. He's got RBIs. He's a utility outfielder. And takes it low and in, making this pitcher work all his way back. Braden Champlin can play all 3 positions in the outfield. He can get called upon at any point in the game or start. He can hit opposite field as a lefty, which is a great job. And that one's with the plate foul straight back. Getting your wrists ahead, and he's done it on senior night. He's done it in front of all these people. And so just a great senior night, great environment for this Bulldog team put on by their fans and their families. And there's no better place to be. If this team's on the field, folks, it is the place you need to be. And Klein, with a great eye, works it to a full count. So in that time of me talking, he's seen 7 pitches. We're looking at number 8. Full count. Outside, and he goes for it anyway. Second baseman, and he can't handle it. Can he get there? And he does. Bobbled by the second baseman. It's going to be an error, but he's still going to reach first base. So with one out, the Bulldogs are in business. And this Bulldog team doesn't care how they get on. They don't care how it goes down in the books. What they do care about is the W at the end of the game, however they can earn it. And that's the bottom line for this team. And they're just such a family. They pick each other up. They get each other's backs. And you can see it from the seniors down. You see it from the seniors wear down to the juniors, to the sophomores. Even Poole having an opportunity. And that pitch, Fiore upstairs, swing and a miss. And you can see the leadership skills. They go all the way down to the freshmen. And it's great that Poole's had an opportunity to play with these seniors. And Tenuta and all of these guys, because it's going to make them, it makes them better for it. Not that they're not contributing all the while, because they are. And the steal attempt, he was going anyway, made good by the pitch in the dirt. So the Bulldogs, with one out, have Klein in scoring position. Fiore down 0-1, excuse me, 1-1 the count on Fiore. And the pitch count just going up and up on this Johnston pitcher, number 22. The delivery and fouled back. Count goes to 1-2. And a long delay between pitches as Klein claps and the pitch breaking ball. He gets a piece over the left field gap. And no one's going to get there. That's going to fall in. They track it, though. It's going to score a run. Klein comes home. And what a day by Fiore. He might be in a little bit of a pickle here, though. And he is in a rundown between first and second. He's just going to go for it, which is really what they say your best odds are. He is thrown out, but not before. Two things, folks, two positives. He gets the RBI and he gets the singles. So the single counts in the books, not that they care. The average goes up. He gets out on the throw out to second. Fiore, man, what a day. It's his third hit today. He's multiple RBIs, playing on defense. What a day he's having. And the Bulldogs tack another one on as they have scored in every frame. They flip to the top of the inning. Dean Pons Jr., their leadoff batter, up again. Nobody on, and he gets under the first pitch. Tough spot being tracked by the shortstop who grabs it, ends the inning. So Pons is going to go right back to work on the hill. That's always a mental challenge that he is always up for. And that is going to put an end to the fifth inning of play, folks. So we're ready to head to the top of the sixth with the Bulldogs leading by 6. And a score of 7-1 over second place Johnston. The Bulldogs have added to their score in each frame of this contest. Pons has been in full control on the rubber. And with that, we are going to take a short break, and we will be right back. And we are back, folks. Similari Field, Westerly, Rhode Island. Get used to hearing it, folks, if you're talking baseball, even if you're talking softball, but we're talking baseball here today. Dean Pons Jr. heading into the sixth inning. Only 6 more outs Johnston has to solve this problem, and that problem is number 7. And I haven't seen it solved all season long by any opponent. I don't think it's going to be solved today, but let's see. Heading to start the inning, number 13 steps in for Johnston. Pons Jr. pitching with a 7-1 lead. Quick warm-up. He was the last out of the last inning, quickly in the dugout, grabbed his glove, back to the rubber, about 2 warm-up pitches. And here we go. We are back in action. And breaking ball for a strike. 1-1 the count. Number 13 at bat for Johnston. And the Bulldogs haven't played a flawless game. They have played a good game, a very good game. And they have dominated the game. They have controlled the game from every aspect. And that's a line drive, and that is taken in by Beckler right at him. And that's going to be a 6 unassisted for out number 1. 3-pitch out for Pons Jr., keeping that pitch count low. Only 1 inning where there might have been more than the norm for the Bulldogs pitcher, who's been in charge. And, Mandy, he came into the game in charge, striking out. People forgot about those first 3 innings. He struck out 7 out of the first 9 guys that stepped up, retiring all 9. I mean, I do think he was around 9 strikeouts in the first 13 guys. He gives up a hit and a run, and people forget about the game, the whole game in its entirety, and that's all because he makes it look so simple, and he can make problems go away so fast. Some of these batters that don't step out and they get behind in the count, and they'll swing and miss one time, and they're out, and they don't even know where their at-bat went. That's just speed that he works at and how comfortable he is within his own regimen. And his regimen won't end until, I'm telling you folks, until an hour or so after everyone leaves this complex tonight. He strives to get better after every game, the 1-2. That is the pitcher's regularity. They did it when we played. I know that Jerry Oth used to do it after his games, and that's the type of stuff you want to do if you want to get better. And waved at by number 3 for a strike 2 and a 2-2 count to the Johnston lefty. 7-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Similar Field. Similar Complex will next be live in action on the 26th, 7 p.m. And Pons' pitch, breaking ball stays inside, full count. And that will be the season finale for the ladies softball. This is the regular season finale. They will head to the playoffs. And the pitch by Pons swung on a miss, strike 3. So he strikes him out. He figured he'd thrown 5 pitches. Might as well get an out of the 6th pitch, and he does. So 2 outs and nobody on for Johnston. And speaking of I'll tell you that between innings. As we're ready to go, sometimes I forget Pond's speed myself. From the windup, the pitch stays outside, 1-0. We're in the top of the 6th inning. There's 2 down, so Johnston's only got 4 more outs to work with. And a lot of runs to do in that time period against a tough Bulldog defense and some tough pitchers if needed. And that one's right down the chute, strike 1. Pons with a 6-0 record, 5 complete games, a save, 9 appearances. He's got 6 numbers with the 6 wins and a save, and they've won all 9. Stands to improve his record to 7-0 with a save. Could be his 6th complete game out of those 7 wins. Just fabulous numbers. College next level numbers. Like I said, he's headed to Rick. Gorman's headed to Bryant on scholarship, both of them. And both schools are lucky to have him, let me tell you. These are multifaceted weapons that the Bulldogs have in both players. And sadly, both of those players are amongst the 6 seniors. And chop that. Fouled on the left side. But this is a great game just to show how all 6 seniors contribute in different ways. Look at the days that Nick Fiore and Braden Champlin and Evan Klein are having today, folks. They're putting together. You have they regularly put together good days, don't get me wrong. But you hear Beckler, Pons, and Gorman all the time. Breaking ball, saved, fouled off to the left all the time. But to have Fiore chip in so much, and he is often an unsung hero, and to have Braden Champlin do the same, and to have Evan Klein, he's in a lot of the replays tonight, folks. When you replay this game, let me tell you, first basemen go unsung quite often, and I've had the opportunity to watch him play all year long. And the pitch low and in. Caught strike 3. He doesn't like it. Bulldogs like it. They love it. Ponds ends the sixth inning in style. Bulldogs in full control. They are heading to their at-bat in the bottom of the sixth and are only 3 outs away from their 20th league victory on the season. That is correct, folks. This will give them 20 league victories. And this will give them 22 overall victories. And that is a heck of a regular season campaign. But first, they will bat. And it will be the top of their order. And they are not done batting. But we do have a change, finally, in the Johnston pitcher. And they will have a lefty offering, which could shake up the Bulldogs a little bit here and make it a quicker inning. Or it could go either way, really. But we'll see as we see a number 3 for Johnston warming up. Oh, yeah, as I was speaking of the fast pitch softball team, they actually, on a game that we covered a while back, Athlete of the Week, upcoming from the week of May 16th, I do believe voting ended today, and it does look like it's going to be Elena Fazaro, Westerly softball sophomore. We did the game, and it was an unbelievably clutch hit. Oh, God, did it shift the game and the crowd and just the entire environment of the whole thing. Elena Fazaro hit a bases-loaded triple in the third inning as the Bulldogs defeated Charahoe, and it ended an 18-game losing streak. A base-clearing 3 RBI triple. The Bulldogs had lost to Charahoe 18 times in a row, and it broke that losing streak. So that team, without a senior and only 3 juniors, I say only 3, but those 3 are very important cogs in their wheel, and they are leaders. But they've just done a great job this season over there, and we're going to be bringing you, hopefully, some playoff games from over there as well. There's a lot more to shake out, and they have a completely different playoff style that I won't even attempt to guess at. So you're going to have to leave that to the website for future scheduling, and that goes pretty much as far as everything goes beyond this week. So here we go, bottom of the 6th inning, and what the Bulldogs would like to be their last offensive attempt here, as they can close out Johnston with 3 outs. They will face the lefty. Lefty versus lefty. Gorman steps in. Low and away, he's facing. And away he goes with it, but shortstop able to vacuum it up. A nice try to go away with the pitch, and they throw him out 6-3 on the ground out. So 1 pitch up and 1 out for Johnston. I don't think if you're Ponds Jr., you mind a short break. You just kind of want to get back out there and get your complete game. He's always itching to get out there and itching to pitch. He's itching to pitch more. He's ready to get put in any game at any time on any rest. And you can see that by his tempo, by his reaction. If things aren't going his team's way, if things are going his team's way, they just stay just steadily at a level above. Nice breaking ball, high and in. He's got a high looper. Not over the strike zone. Good eye by Beckler. 1-0 the pitch. And more than likely the senior's last at bat here on senior night, number 21, the shortstop. And he sprays it out to right field. Nice job of going with the pitch. It's going to be a run and a heck of a sliding attempt. That's going to go in as a hit off his glove and a stand-up double. Is he going to go for 3? No. He's going to take the double on the books for Beckler. So he's going to, in what may end his senior offensive night here with a double. And what a nice runner start for the Bulldogs with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. As I finally am able to spit that out, we have a new batter in for the Bulldogs. Noah Burdick has entered the game for Shep Simmons at third base. And they do make that switch often throughout the season. They platoon, they rotate back and forth. And the pitch outside for the ball, 1-0. 7-1, Bulldogs lead. Bottom of the 6th inning here, folks. Similar field, Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We are back in action on the 25th. We have a day off, and we are at Federico Gymnasium. Big game, Bulldogs versus Pilgrim. Bulldogs were able to beat Pilgrim in 4 games last time. Pilgrim sits in 3rd place just above the Bulldogs, even though they were defeated by the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs need to win this to jump them in seeding for the playoffs. All sorts of playoff stuff and playoff seeding. The pitch gets the outside corner of the plate, 2-2 the count. All sorts of playoff seeding and things at stake for the volleyball team as well as the softball team. And we're going to be bringing it to you live. 25th and the 26th. Burdick, the 2-1 pitch, paying a lot of attention to Beckler. Full kick, breaking ball, low and away, 3-1. So Beckler doing his job getting the pitcher's attention. I know you don't want to let any more in. Works in a polar opposite fashion. But so do a couple of the Bulldogs pitchers. It's just a difference in style. Because if you watch Jack Tenuta pitch, and when he's at his game, he's calm, cool, complacent, moves slow at his rhythm. If he wants to speed it up, he'll speed it up. He may slow it down. He changes his pace. So each pitcher has their own variants, and especially each pitcher within the four, now that you've seen the Bulldogs throw. The Bulldogs have thrown 4 starters, and freshman Michael Poole several times, and Greg Gorman as well. And he drives this one to center field, and the center fielder is able to track it in. No advance on the runners, and that's 2 down. In the bottom half here of the 6th inning, Jack Tenuta, left fielder for the Bulldogs, number 22, steps up. Having a season for the Bulldogs. Their number 2 pitcher, also 6-0 with a save on the hill. His ERA on the hill, .80 as a sophomore. 9 appearances, 7 winning decisions, no losing decisions, just ridiculous numbers. It's almost just like takes the wind out of you just to think at what it might be like 2 years from now. But I'm so excited about this season and what's ahead of us right here and now. It's just, and the energy is palpable throughout the town of Westerly. More people know, more people are talking. They're not a secret anymore, not this Bulldog team. And breaking ball inside almost hits him and does. So he's going to create the force at first. They were going to pitch around him anyway. And I don't know why, because they got Braden Champlin up, and he is having a day as a senior for the Bulldogs. The always ready senior, number 34, steps in. The lefty, 2 down. Runners on first and second. Bulldogs up 7-1, bottom of the 6th. Johnston, only 3 outs left in this one. Lefty versus lefty, breaking ball stays upstairs. Want to know the count? Costa, the catcher, on deck, who's chipped in a hit and an RBI as well. And that breaks away, and the catcher doesn't know where it is. So it's ended up right in front of him, fortunately for Johnston. Runners unable to advance. That would have been a good break for the Bulldogs. Do I foresee Dean Pons Jr. running into trouble? I don't, but this is a good Johnston squad. So very unbelievably, crazy, shocking things can happen in sports. And that would be one of them. Strike called on Champlin. 2-1 the count. Bulldogs have played an excellent game tonight. Overall, took charge early, controlled throughout, swing and a miss. 2-2 the count, 2 outs for the Bulldogs. As they took that control early, it's that senior leadership on senior night. And all seniors contributed just overboard. To bring it all up, you got to watch it, and the replays will show it. Every senior having replay-worthy plays. And just showing why they're here and why the team's where it's at. Check swing, good eye, breaks away. Full count. And Braden Champlin has made this pitcher work all night long. He's chipped in hits. He's got RBIs. He's made the pitcher throw 6-7 pitches every time he's been up there. Every at-bat counts regardless of the outcome when you do that every time. And that stays away. He gets called strike just off the outside corner. And that's going to do it for 6 innings of play here, folks. And only 1 frame left here on senior night for the Westerly Bulldogs, to lead by a score of 7-1 as their ace, the senior, number 7, Dean Pons Jr. Next year, he's headed to Rick. This year, he wants to be headed to a state championship. Toes the rubber for what could be his 7th complete game of the season, a 7-0 record. Excuse me, that might be off by 1 there. We're looking at a 7-0 record, a 6th complete game of the season. Tack on a save. You can bring him in whenever. And boy, is he a weapon. And boy, just he exudes just I don't really know. The ability to be calm in any situation, the adjective's not coming to me, but he controls the pace of the game. I mean, right now he's pretty much just letting everybody else warm up. He gets ahead on hitters. He started in control. I mean, he gave the Bulldogs 3 innings, just a 3-inning head start. 9 batters, just don't count. You guys got 9 outs, so work with me and get me a few runs. You can look at it that way. That's pretty good if you're an offensive team to have that. And then you come back with Jack Tenuta, a sophomore, 6-0 record. You have Michael Poole, a freshman, and he's got a 3-1 record. You have Greg Gorman, a senior, if you ever do need a fourth or if you do need an arm in. I mean, and he just threw a complete game shutout versus Stonington in the game that mattered in their league. So, I mean, they have the weapons all over in place for exactly what they want. And it starts right here with this guy on the rubber. And no more fitting end to senior night, if it can, than off the fingertips of number 7, Dean Pounds Jr. And pitch number 1 on the 7th, swing and a miss. Number 6 in the box for Johnston. So we are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, folks, bringing it to you live from Similary Field, Bulldog Baseball, senior night. These are the Division 2B South champions already. They lead the second place Johnston by a score of 7-1, and Pounds Jr. in a rhythm here, looking for another complete game victory. 0-2 the count. Breaking ball stays away, 1-2. He struck out 7 of the first 9 batters, retiring all 9. Came out in charge in that time period. The Bulldogs were able to jump out to a 4-0 lead. Johnston unable to ever bounce back, and he strikes him out over the outside portion to start the 7th. And it couldn't be in any more fitting fashion. These crowds are in it. They're all around the field, folks. This team has a huge following, let me tell you. 1 down, Johnston down to 2 outs. And the pitch, 0-1. Swing and a miss by quite a bit here. All of the energy, all of the momentum all day long, even when the Bulldogs gave up the run. It didn't seem like for a second they lost it. Fly ball, Gorman tracking. And you can hear him from here call it. You hear things you don't hear from other teams, folks. You hear the communication from in the booth. Call that from right field. And those are the fundamentals. Those are the things winning teams think. Simple outs like that aren't so simple if you look at it from way above. Bulldogs down to their final out of the game here to knock off second place Johnston, leading by a score of 7-1. 2 down, nobody on. Breaking ball stays away. Nice catch by Costa. Number 11 in the box for Johnston. Pons having a day, looking to improve his record to 7-0. 6th complete game of the season. He's got a save to boot. Headed to Rick, their ace. Got a state title on his mind this year. That's it. Swing, check swing. Didn't even know what to do. 0-2 is the count. He has them as baffled in the bottom of the 7th as he had them in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's as though he does not lose any energy, and he came out with a pop on his fastball. Check swing, call it. Strike number 2. 1 away, folks. 0-2 the count. Hans Jr. looking to wrap this thing up. And the breaking ball gets a piece of it, just enough to move along. One more pitch. Number 11 for Johnston stays alive. And what a game we've had today, because I'll tell you what, this is definitely makes a point in the division. A statement game, they would call it, with an exclamation point on it. And the pitch fouled off to the right. Count remains 0-2. And like I said, I did see a new thing. I saw Pons actually work his cutter less than he's worked it all year. I'm sure he came into the game knowing he wanted to work certain pitches. His fastball had more pop. The 0-2. Breaking ball. He check swing. Throw to first, check swing, credit strikeout, and the game, folks. In the books. Bulldog, 20th division victory of the season. 20-1 they go. And they revenge their loss to Johnston, their sole loss of the season. with their victory here on senior night. The final, your Westerly Bulldogs 7 and Johnston, man, there's only one run and really never threatened at any other point in the game versus the Bulldogs and their ace, Dean Pons Jr. Let me tell you what, folks, it was senior night. I'm running through them one more time because they all contributed tonight. They always contribute. Number 4, Nick Fiore, what a game, second baseman, senior. Number 34, Braden Champlin, what a game. Platoon outfielder, senior, can come in and do it anytime, any game. Proved it tonight. Number 21, Zach Beckler, shortstop, senior, stud. 17, Greg Gorman, senior, stud. Number 11, Evan Klein, senior, unsung stud. And you got number 7, your ace, Dean Pons Jr., always there for the victory tonight. That puts Dean Pons Jr. at 7-0 on the season with a save. 6th complete game of the season. We will see him again in the postseason. Folks, we will see you again as far as baseball goes in the postseason. But tune back in the 25th, boys varsity volleyball, Federico Gymnasium. We will see you then.